Coach, we had a conversation earlier. We were talking about what the end of the season would look like. I don't know if our predictions came true. I know we were pretty much on top of most of the games that we had in the midway point, but we had some surprises, man. And I don't know if we quite saw it like this.
A lot of these teams started out slow and came around in mid season to the end, and then some of them started out fast and kind of faded at the end. So you never know. Football seasons are long, lasts a long time. It might 11 weeks seems like not too long, but injuries, uh, anything can happen. Injuries most affect would affect the team, and some of these teams I thought you know would be further along, and some of them are better than what I thought.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that you want to make sure you stay healthy, and that's really part of the problem. If you have a hot streak and then man, you lose your quarterback or you lose one of your studs, like it can really be tough going once you get to the latter part of the season. But let's go ahead and get to it. Week 11, Thursday night, Childs handle business against Swanee 55-28. And the Timberwolves, man, they did all the work they could do, but they're going to need some help as they sit on the outside looking in on the playoff bracket for that top eight. I think currently they're sitting in at number 10 or 11. So we'll check some other area scores from around the area. But the Timberwolves will need some help in order to gain some ground to see if they can have a chance to get into the playoffs. They had a great season, had quite a few upsets on the schedule, but the 4 losses really working against them right now. Madison County down the Canto 43-7 in dominating fashion. Madison County ended the season on a hot streak. Really for the Cowboys, it was really about snagging those last 3 wins, and they got some dominant wins over Florida High and Apopka. Had tough loss against Reigns the week before, opening up the month of October with a pair of losses, but they had a really signature win against Bay, who was one of the top teams in their classification. That's going to help the Cowboys out quite a bit.
Yeah, Mark, this it's really not a surprise that Madison did what they did. They've been doing this for years. It's sort of, it's the culture. No matter who they play, they excel. You can't take it for granted. They might have a bad record, but that don't mean anything. When you play, you got to bring your A game with them, and then I feel when this playoff start, I mean, you got to look at them as one of the favorites.
Yeah, this is a dangerous team, mostly because of who they've played. Their schedule included Lincoln, D-Land, Sewanee, Columbia, Bay, Pace, Rains, Florida High, and Apopka. That's a tough schedule. I don't care what your classification is, but it just so happens that Madison's in the rural, and man, this could spell trouble for a lot of teams that were hoping for a lighter draw because Madison, according to how things play out right now. Now, there'll be a final rankings coming out before playoff brackets get revealed in this dead period. But right now, Madison's sitting at number 9, so they will be in the midway point. It's the top 16 teams for the rural class. But this is a favorable draw for the Cowboys as they'll be able to kind of get some of the middle teams in that bracket as opposed to being towards the lower side of that bracket. This looks pretty good for them going into the first week of the playoffs.
Yeah, Mark. I feel sorry for some of these teams who hadn't played the competition they played. These guys play hard. They're used to winning. It is going to be a tough out for them.
So, there'll be some shifts for a lot of teams in the final playoff brackets because quite a few there were some upsets from around the state, but there were also some movement in our areas. Quite a few teams had a dominant win, but let's keep it rolling. Franklin County in the SSA playoffs first round falls to Paxa in a close one, 42-30. And man, can't say enough about Coach Cooper and his bunch. They did a great job, in my opinion, trying to revitalize the program. This team has won 7 games in their regular season and was looking for their 8th win. And we'll have to check and see where they fall into the classification for the Florida Invitational Tournament, but there still could be a lot more football left to play for the Seahawks. Mosley, a big winner over Florida High, 26-17. Seminoles tried to close the gap at the end and just ran out of time. Mosley ends up winning this one 26-17, and Mosley closes out the season with a 9-1 record. And, Coach, they avenged that loss from last year to Florida High that they suffered on the road. Sometimes it feels good just to be able to kind of right some wrongs. But for the Seminoles, man, they have the second toughest schedule next to Madison. If you look at how Florida High really played out for that last part of the season, man, just the whole month of October, it went Childs, Gaston County, Madison County, and Bishop Moore out of Orlando. So that was a really tough assignment for the Seminoles.
Nothing unusual. They always play up. They always play tough schedule, and they managed in the past years to come out pretty unscathed in these games. Now, I think with a lot of injuries that Florida had, it affected them on their record. Talking to some of the folks, this is. I mean, they were walking wounded. And I guess they limped through the season. So Coach Hickman did a good job with this group and the schedule they played.
Yeah, Mosley jumped out to a 19-7 to open the game and just cruise from there. But yeah, a big win for Mosley to keep that win streak hot. They'll need to stay hot going into the playoffs. But they have got right now, I believe they've got the number 3 spot right now in Class 5A Region 1. So a favorable draw for the Dolphins and playoff football. Now it's time for the second season. We'll see how things fall out in a very tough Region 1 and 5A. Friday scores, Lincoln handles Rickards 35-12, and the Trojans got the win that they needed. Let's see if they could get some help from around their particular classification, because as we were checking in, Lincoln was in the number 9 spot and really wanted to host in the first round, and we'll see how things shake out. Looking at some other schools from around the area, Fleming Island, who sits right ahead of Lincoln won a very close 1-point ball game against Flagler Palm Coast. That could have some impact. We'll see if there's any shift in any movement. A win counts, but you definitely want to kind of move up a spot to see if you can host that first round playoff game. We'll see if everything falls into place for the Trojans on the playoff release show. Taylor County downs Leon 43-28, and the Bulldogs finished on a high note with a very dominating win over Leon 43-28.
Yeah, I watched part of that game. Leon, it was close at the beginning, but at the second half, Taylor County kind of pulled away. The score was a bit surprising based on what I saw from the beginning, because Leon was able to move the football, but they second half Taylor County kind of shut that down and pulled away.
Yeah, so congrats to the Bulldogs. Taylor County finishes with a 3-game win streak, but man, this is a 9-1 team heading into the playoffs. They're very dangerous right now. Taylor County, you can't really say too much about what the job that Coach Bradwell has done, man. He's done a great job turning around this program in a short 2-year period. They are sitting 1 point behind Chiefland, their nemesis that they lost to in the midway point of the season. But right now, they would get a favorable draw for the playoffs opening up. Looks like they might draw Williston or Baker, maybe even Lafayette. We'll see how things shake out. As Pahokee had the Muck Bowl yesterday, they were sitting at the number 5 spot, and they had a hard loss to the Glade Central Raiders. So we'll see. There could be some shifting going around in the rural classification, but for right now, Taylor County sitting in a really good spot. FAMU High, DRS nabs the 3rd win of the season. Congrats to the Baby Rattlers, finishing the season on a high note with a 48-30 win over Houston County, Alabama. Congrats to the Baby Rattlers. Walton downs Maclay on the road, and man, Maclay having their road struggles in the month of October continue as they get hammered on the road, 43-13. And you got to wonder if this team is a little bit different out of the friendly confines of Frank Shaw Field on the north side of town by Meridian Road. This one was just a tough one where you can see Walton has really come on in the second half. For the Braves, they've really been fighting for their playoff lives, and this could bolster it but they had a tough schedule. Bay, Pensacola Catholic, South Walton, and West Florida, all in that midpoint of the schedule where they lost 6 straight. But they're going to end the season with a 4-6 record and looking for some help. And that, you know, if you're going to get some help, you got to help yourself first. And they got a big win over McClay. Freeport and NFC linked up, and man, this one was a good one. Came down to the wire, but NFC falls to Freeport 36-35. And we were talking about where NFC was falling into the Class 1A playoffs. They were, you know, in my opinion, this is one of those where you had to have it. And this one, they just had a tough draw in their schedule. But North Florida Christian really is, I think they should still be in with the loss, but they were sitting at the number 6 spot, if I'm not mistaken. And just, you know, when you look at that game, it was just one of those where you knew you're going to have a tough opponent coming in, and Freeport completed the comeback with a 13-point fourth quarter. It takes this one 36-35 over NFC on the road.
Mark, I watched part of this game, and literally North Florida was dominating this game. I turned away, I flipped away. I go through all these different games, and when I got back, I saw Freeport lining up to take the lead, and I couldn't believe it. I said, well, dang. I thought that this would be, I thought North Florida would probably walk away with this, the way they played at the beginning of the game. But you got to play all 48 minutes. It doesn't matter what you start, it's how you finish.
Now this one coming up, we got to talk about this one. Gaston County, man, we said it. This was their playoff game, and they certainly played like it as they beat Wakulla at home to close out the regular season, 28-20 over really red hot Warriors team. And congrats to the Jags for finding, I would say, a bright spot in what has been a dismal season. Some unfortunate things happened going into the regular season. And, you know, really for Wakulla is still sitting in a great spot. They're the district champion. You hate to end the season on a sour note against a really good opponent like that. But for Gaston County, they knew what the assignment was. They were ready to handle business. And you look at playoff implications for Wakulla. I think Wakulla, because of where they sit, they're kind of in the middle of the pack. They may they may fall in the points, but they have a almost 4-point lead over West Florida. So I think they'll keep their spot. It was really the latter part of that where Godby, West Florida, and Baker County all share less than half a point in the playoff rankings. So this will be interesting as the Cougars went on the road into Dothan, and they fell 42-64. So this is one of those where we'll have to see how close things are because Dothan is an out-of-state opponent. I'm not sure how that adds up in the rankings, but for Godby, you know, that was one of those where, man, you wish you could have had one more to be able to kind of bolster your spot. You don't want to be playing one of the top teams in the classification. You kind of want to stay away from your Rains and Bay, who are the top 2 teams in Class 3A. That way, hopefully you can extend your life in the playoffs a little bit longer, maybe get a favorable matchup. But Godby falls 42-64, and Wakulla falls to Gaston County. Jaguars a big win over the War Eagles 28-20. Chipley and Lafayette hooked up, and man, I had my eyes on this one, Coach. Chipley Tigers and Lafayette were both 8-1 coming into the final game, and this one came down to the wire. It was 21-20 Chipley when it all was said and done, and the Tigers get a huge road win over a very, very good team. They were both evenly matched, Coach, and I think this is what we're going to see. This is going to be a preview of the 1A rural playoffs, of the rural classification playoffs as we get down to the latter part of the season and understanding what round 1 could look like. Man, these two teams could link up again. Chipley is sitting at the number 10 spot, and Lafayette is sitting at number 6. But with the loss, we could see an 8-10 hook up again. Not really sure. It's the top 16 teams that make it, and this could be a rematch.
That would be interesting. These two teams, they battled out extra point difference in the game. uh, they both came into the game excited about their situation. But look at watching the game, watching part of it. Lafayette moved the ball pretty, had some lot of success moving the ball. And then Chipley came out at the end and had a long drive and took the lead. And I was thinking that, since Lafayette was home, they may be able to come back, but they never did.
So Lafayette and Chipley, man, two evenly matched teams gave you the kind of game that you were expecting. A 21-20 nail biter. Chipley takes the edge. And really for the Tigers, that was kind of what the doctor ordered. They were in a position where they really needed a dominating win to kind of move up a little bit, and it looks like they got it. Yeah, it really just came down to the in my opinion, Lafayette found the end zone, was not able to secure the extra point to tie the game. And again, we could see these two teams meeting up again in the playoffs. There could be a potential rematch scenario in there somewhere. Branford handles Hamilton County 49-6, and Bowles blanks Columbia. Just little piece of information. Bowles is the number 7 or 8 team in the state right now overall. And Columbia, man, got the best possible scenario to take on Bowles, having them at home, and were not able to find the end zone the entire night. I think Bowles just sent up a warning shot to the rest of the state about how dominant this team could be. For just so that people understand, Columbia's only loss came to St. Augustine earlier in the season. Earlier in the season. So Columbia now sitting at 8-2. On the regular season, waiting for the playoffs to start. And really for Columbia, this is one of those where they're going to be looking. Their spot is still secured as far as I'm concerned, but you definitely want to be able to have some kind of insurance as they're sitting at the number 3 spot with they've got like almost an 8-point lead over Ed White out of Jacksonville. So it's still Choctaw, St. Augustine, Columbia, the top 3 teams in Region 1 4A. So Tigers, suffered the loss, but still in great position come playoff time. Bay downs Bozeman for the Bay County Championship 62-13, and Bay completes the mission in Bay County. Bay County football is back, man. I've been saying this for a minute, but for the Tornadoes, it's a great dominating win over a crosstown rival in Bozeman. And I know that was one of the things that's on the list. You want to win your district, you want to get into the playoffs, but you want to win the county championship. Congrats to the Tornadoes on a great season. Bay is sitting at 9-1, the number 2 team in the region right now, just behind Rains. And man, what would have been if you don't remember last season, Bay had to hit the road and take on Rains, and now they are sitting in the number 2 spot with the opportunity to host first-round playoff action in Bay County. We haven't seen it in quite a while, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Mark, I was thinking back to last year when Bay had to go all the way to Jacksonville and play the top team, the team that eventually made it to state in the first round, which is, you're on the road against the same team as a perennial championship program at Rains always, and then Bay, you got to go start your playoff run with them. Things are going to be a little bit better, not easier, but better, playing home starting off the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a potential scenario where we have 3 Bay County teams hosting in the first round between Bozeman, Mosley, and Bay. So, man, you're going to have to fight to see who's going to get access to the facility first. But what a great problem to have. Some other Friday area scores. Sneeze handled business against North Bay Haven, 38-22. Congrats to the Pirates closing out the regular season on a high note. Ops downs Holmes County, and this is where Holmes, man, terrible positioning right now in the playoff rankings. They are sitting at number 19 for the top 16 spots, and they played a tough Alabama team and came up short 22-20. That was one of those where they needed to have. We'll see what the rankings say if Holmes County can get any help or movement to try and get into the playoffs there. South Walton handles Mariana 49-20, ending the season on a high note. And for Sowall, man, what a great turnaround from last season. They are now sitting at 7-3 on the regular season, and with a comfortable spot in the playoffs. We'll definitely be seeing Sowall in the second season coming up in 2 weeks.
You call him Sowall.
That's what they call him. Alcilla, a big winner in the SSA first round of the playoffs, 49-13 over Central Florida Christian. And man, nobody gave Alcilla the memo. They just keep on rolling. For the Warriors, definitely looking forward to second round playoff action, as they will have another game in the dead period, and still have an opportunity to play to continue their playoff march. We'll keep you updated on the SSA playoffs. There's plenty of information. We'll have that broken down on Wednesday's edition of the Extra Point Podcast. Port St. Joe, a big winner over Destin, 30-7. And that was what the doctor ordered for the Tiger Sharks, because they needed a big win. They were sitting on the outside looking in. Can they get into the top 16? We'll see. That was exactly what the Tiger Sharks needed, was a big win. And we'll see if they can get some help, but we'll have everything broken down for the selection show. But Port St. Joe did all they could do. They need a little bit of help to try and move up in the rankings. Arnold and Rutherford, and this one came down to the wire as Arnold downs Rutherford in another Bay County matchup, 35-28, and the Marlins end the season on a high note against crosstown rival. And when you take a look at how things shook out a couple of weeks ago, man, Rutherford had a very slim chance to get into the playoffs in just a couple of weeks of football. Now they're on the outside looking in, and it just kind of, sometimes it just goes that way.
Yeah, it's a rough ending to the season. You were going on a high note, and all of a sudden, in 2 weeks, things went bad. As we would say, they went south, and I think the program has a lot to look forward to. They look like they kind of turning the corner, and maybe next season this will be a tougher. That'll probably be a playoff team. It's not going to be an easy run for anyone to go in there and play them. And I saw a lot of improvement this year. And congratulations to them trying to improve with Coach Floyd.
Yep. A Jackson County Classic, Cottondale and Graceville linking up for the season finale. Cottondale handles business against the Tigers, 56-14. The Hornets a big winner and sitting pretty in terms of the playoffs. Cottondale, I believe, is sitting at the number. I think they're sitting right at the edge there, but I have to double check my findings when I take a look at the standings. But Cottondale ends up closing out the year against one of their rivals. I think that makes it 6 straight over Graceville. I think the last time Graceville won this game was 2019, somewhere in there. But man, that's just one of the areas of the state that has great football tradition. And our final game of the Week 11 slate, Hamilton County falls to Branford. Branford really having a great season this year as they take it 49-6 over the Trojans, and that'll do it for week number 11. We want to encourage everybody, hey, hang out with us for a little bit this weekend. We're going to be tuned into the selection show and definitely be talking about where your favorite team is headed for the playoffs as the brackets get released. So we want to we'll put out a note for that, as we will be going live as well with our thoughts and opinions on the playoff show. But man, that will do it for week number 11, man. Some teams, man, I hate to say it, got to turn in pads on Monday. I hate it.
Friday night when they walked in the building, man. You don't let them kids go home with that stuff. You collected that night.
Coming from a coach, I can see that. We want to get that stuff cleaned up and turned in right away.
Man, we spend the weekend, we be through with it.
No, I understand. When you're not in the playoffs, man, you hate football. You love it for 11 weeks, but when you don't play in the playoffs, man, you hate it. You don't even want to watch it.
They can calculate. The coaches, they have a good idea of where they are. It's no surprises, points. Whether you got to win. You done figured it out by now.
Yep.
You didn't have to wait. You lost a game. You're not going to make it. Let's turn our stuff in as we as we get off the bus. Let me hold it.
But extra football is on the horizon. The second season begins in 2 weeks on November the 14th. We'll have everything lined up for the selection show on, I'm going to check the dates on that, but we'll have plenty of football broken down on Wednesday's edition of The Extra Point. I'm Mark Adams, my tag team partner, Coach Cofield. We'll catch everybody on Wednesday night for The Extra Point.